All right, welcome back, guys, to the Growing Pains and Gains podcast. We're back again. We've got Christian, Vanessa back with us, and we've got Chantelle as usual. Just here to have some real life conversations again. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, good.
Good?
Really good.
Chris?
I'm actually happy that Vanessa's back with us.
Okay.
Oh, that's so nice.
There's
I
some
thought,
key
I thought
things
you'd
that
have
you said.
enough. No?
No.
No, sorry. I'm not saying that because I had enough.
You've had enough.
No.
This is about reading. What,
No, don't read no. Listen to what I'm
you
actually
said,
saying.
What you said was.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm happy to have you.
I'm willing to explore. I don't know what he's
this
talking
guy.
about. I'm willing to explore. How was your day? How's
Your door
Paul?
is there. Sorry.
How's the kids?
Everybody's really well. Thank you so much for asking.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, safe.
I've been trying to use those
The tools that we learned last time.
Yeah, the last time. So
Thank
I'm
God.
trying
Clearly,
to
because I
fix
didn't learn anything, so
Yeah.
obviously I don't have
You
to.
didn't
to
get back
She
to
was
us.
just listening.
The last-
But you didn't hear anything that resonated for
No.
some reason. All right, cool. So what are we talking about today? So I want to explore life after a relationship. So I want to talk about co-parenting. I want to talk about what it's like for you ladies once the father of your child or children has left and it's just you. I want Christian and I to talk about our experience, what it's like starting again, leaving with nothing, and you're on your own in a room. And also maybe where some of our learned behaviors or patterns have come from, upbringing wise.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a short and sweet episode, but I think it's going to be beneficial for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So last time I picked on Vanessa to go first,
Ooh.
but I'm going to pick on Chantelle to go first.
Did you say ladies first,
Ladies
right?
first, yeah.
There you go.
So, Shan,
Red lipstick.
once you had your child, your daughter, and dad wasn't there, what was that like for you? Because obviously that wasn't your expectation of what having a family with the love of your life or your husband was. So in that reality you found yourself in, what did that feel like? What did that look like? And then how did you just, because women are amazing at just getting on with things, but what was that like, so that primarily men can understand what's happening once they've left?
I'd say it was baffling because, again, we had a long distance relationship. So I found it was cool during, other than one moment in the earlier part of the pregnancy, but otherwise good. And when she was 2 months old, we knew, you have that conversation where they try to make you laugh and it ain't funny. That part.
It's real awkward, real fast.
Yeah. Oh,
No?
I didn't
Okay.
even crack a smile.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. But then he blocked me for some reason. We didn't have like
As in blocker.
I blocked me on the WhatsApp. So I didn't actually genuinely understand why. We hadn't had a conversation, just found one day that stop you karateing over there.
No,
I
just
just
block
didn't
it. I
have-
just block
Oh,
it.
block it.
blocking you, okay? Can't see you anymore. Just not there. So I was baffled. I was like, what?
You know when toddlers close their eyes and think that you
And
can't
then-
see
oh,
them?
yeah, see them.
You're like, yo, I can still see you. You're like, no, you can't. So basically he closed his eyes. And
Literally
Squinting.
couldn't done.
Yeah, go
So
on.
I was baffled. But like you said, I got on with it. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? The child is 2 months old and is breastfeeding and needs mama. You just do what you have to do, innit?
Was it difficult?
Of course. But to be fair, I was so ready for her that the word difficult didn't even enter my mind. I don't know if I would say I didn't have space. I had space, but I didn't have time to then give room for that. Enough to deal with the fact that, okay, we're done.
You had a priority order.
I did.
Yeah.
And my daughter was that, and she still is.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And
now I do this.
that's right. So it was not great. It was not what I expected because we had her with intent. When they whisper in your ear, be like, let's extend our family. And then the family comes and they get gone and you're not there.
Mm.
So I'm like,
You're
what
not
was
there.
You're not there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
For
that's
those English
patois
speaking,
for
yeah.
you're not there.
Yeah, I think
You know,
the
did it?
day-
You're not
there's
you're not
another-
there.
the day was
You
the
don't
name
did
of the
it,
child. Do you know the day?
You know the day.
You know did it. You know did it. You know
You know
did it.
did
You know
it.
did it.
Hey.
You know did it. You know did it.
You
You know
love making me
did it.
spill my water.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh.
So
But yeah.
Vanessa, because I'm gonna ask you both a question, but I want to hear what was your, because you had a child before you and Paul
Yeah.
came together. What was it like when you, was it intentional to have a child, and then what was it like when that relationship was no more?
Wasn't intentional to have a child.
Okay.
It was a whoops
Oh.
daisy.
How did that happen?
One thing led
It's
to
the
another. eh?
Whoops.
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 Yeah.
Whoopsie daisy.
Wow.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no. Ow, my eye.
Private joke.
Private joke.
eye.
Okay. We're still there. Which one? Is it the left one or the right one? I don't know.
I don't know. You tell us. You tell.
You want some water for wash it down.
So, no, go on, go on, go
Okay.
on. Let's get back in the room.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that happened, and actually we were in a relationship. We were young. I remember I had my daughter at 18,
Okay.
but I was in a long relationship with this,
Long.
with her dad.
Yeah.
Like long for an
For a
18-year-old,
teenager,
for
yeah,
a
of course.
teenager. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, you've been together for over 2 years!" Like it was like that, and then had her. And actually, when I found out I was pregnant, I knew straight away that I was just gonna have my baby. That I just knew that. Spoke to him, and he was like jumping for joy, which was really weird for me because I was like, "This is not meant." Actually, I don't know if the celebration should be like that because do you know how old we are? Anyway, the fact that he was that excited, I thought, okay, at least. And I'm a real ride or die. I'm loyal. So I'm gonna stick this out. I actually thought, this is it then, forever.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is us.
Yeah.
3 months in though,
To the pregnancy or after she was born?
after she was born,
Okay.
and he was there while she was born and all of that. So he's got amazing supportive family, and they supported me. My family are very supportive, so they supported me. So it was okay. I struggled after I had her though. In reflection, probably then I was just going through, but it was a lot. And I remember just feeling like it was just hard. I felt alone. Although there was everybody around, I just felt so isolated. I was watching my friends go to college. I should have been that girl in college, planning to go to uni. And
Yeah.
I was watching everyone do it, and I'm now going, oh my God. And I didn't have the privilege of someone could look after this baby and let me go. So I knew my life course was going to change, but his, I got resentful because his was going to remain exactly the same. And he was buying matching trainers and matching hats, and I couldn't afford anything anymore. And I was holding the baby, and I struggled. And the fact that I was going through this, I was just like, this is part of it, isn't it? This is just part of it. Suck it up, suck it up. She'll grow, you'll grow. We'll just keep doing this. And 3 months after she was born, a random girl's phoning his phone, house phone. House phones, by the way, it was a house phone. So you gave out your house number. And your aunt picking up the phone and calling you to the phone. So I'm now, who did she say? And she's being sheepish because she knows it's a girl calling your house and Vanessa's upstairs. Vanessa's in your bedroom. I was a bit like, whoa. And it came out and I couldn't stomach it. And I just knew that I was like, if this is happening now, what's going to happen in another 3 months or a year's time? And am I going to just live this life of you do what you think you can get away with?
Yeah.
I find out I'm broken and am I just going to be this broken heap? I can't afford to be that. I've got a daughter now. I need to be strong. And actually, that's not the role model I wanted for her. I wanted to know she needs to be strong. So I was a bit like, yeah, done, bye. It was turbulent for a little while because it was a bit of a back and forth. Are we really doing this? Are we breaking up? And it wasn't. We moved on anyway eventually. But I was in my head straight. I know, from the day she was born, I said, it's on me. This is all on me. And I think maybe that's why I struggled so much because I felt that burden. And she's not a burden. And I love you, my daughter. I love you. You know I do. But I felt it. It was heavy for me. And I felt disappointed in myself. And I felt like I disappointed everybody else. I feel like my family held me a bit high. Like, Vanessa's going to go on to do these great things. And then I was like, oh no, I'm pregnant. And it's really young. So I felt all of that. And you know what? No one really said that to me. So this could be all made up in my own head. But that's what I felt.
Yeah.
And I just decided I'm giving everything to that little girl. She's going to be everything. No one's stepping in our way, and that is it. So I actually didn't think about another relationship. I was like headstrong. Like, it's just me and my baby girl, and I'm just going to crack on. And that's what I did. And actually, it wasn't that long, because I think I have the personality that when I meet someone and we connect on a level, it's always conversation for me. We meet and we can connect that way. Somehow they develop into relationships. So I had another relationship, but that turned out a little bit really crazy and toxic, and I was just like, yeah, can't do that. Cut that again. And I'm a bit no nonsense. It's like and it's because of my daughter. I'm like, I can't afford for someone to be crazy in our lives. So that got pushed out quick. Then I had some space, and then I met your brother.
Hey.
And
The genes. DNA.
that's how it happened. But even when I met him, it was a bit like straight away I was laying it down like, my daughter's everything. She comes first. And that is it. You need to understand that. I think he respected it because he also had a child. So he was like, obviously, that's how I feel about my daughter. And I was like, great, I will not come in between you and your daughter's happiness. So whatever you need to do for her out there, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
And this is what I have to do.
Cool.
So this is her dad. Recognize him, understand. I recognize who your daughter's mum is. And that was it.
So question for you ladies. What did you... I know you said you started to resent the fact that his life didn't change.
And he's buying matching
matching
trainers and his hats.
So he still dripped out. Like,
He was dripped out.
But...
Oh, no.
This girl just
So let me just finish my question.
yield to this.
So, what were your thoughts of the man and the life that he's living simultaneously to the one to your reality? I asked that because growing up, I remember my mum saying, "It's all right for your dad." She didn't say it in this accent, but it's all right for your dad. He's out there doing what he wants to do with women, whoever, woman, this woman and that woman, and I'm here struggling and I don't have blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's all right for him. Go ask your father. I ain't got it. So there was a lot of resentment and animosity that she was putting. She didn't put it all on me, but I
she was
heard,
expressing it. So
Yeah.
it's all right for him. He's just out there.
she was projecting.
So it's like she's stuck in this horrible reality, and he's out there scot-free, living his best life, which we'll talk about from our perspective. It's not actually
Your best life.
at your best life. But what did it seem like to you? Did you feel those type of ways about him?
So I would say not necessarily. If I'm being honest with you, you know, sometimes your trauma just blocks out of your brain.
Yeah.
All I had in my mind at that time was me and my daughter. Her name is Amaya. So I was just doing what I had to do for me and her.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to think about that.
Yeah.
And
Some resilience.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just wasn't.
What's that again,
before
Vanessa?
that.
I don't know.
She's a
You know,
Chantelle said, yeah, that one.
This is a language,
Resistance.
you know.
I was just about to
understand.
start exploring.
Yeah, I wanted to
You know
explore.
what? Guess what? I was so glad she said, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I could,
Yeah.
I could stop
So
trying to say
I think the word you were searching for is
resilience.
resilience. Yeah.
And I said, and there was a few more S's in
yeah.
there. I was like,
And
Wow.
it's
Technological.
Oh yes,
that's right.
Technological.
Technologically,
But yes,
But
so
yeah,
you were just focused.
I was. Don't get me wrong. There were instances prior to that where there were adulteries and
trees.
yes, many trees. And
Oh Lord.
the last thing before that was I was pregnant at the same time as another woman that he had impregnated,
Oh, wow.
who
Many
it's
trees. Wow,
yes,
it's
that's a multi-layered situation, which also so I think that happened before. That happened before, but I think even in the middle of that, sorry to deviate a little bit, I was very much aware of it. This is why God makes sure that I am not in the same country as you when I find out things, because I had plans in my brain if I were there,
Oh God.
which would probably steer me further away from the Lord than I
come to an
wanted to be.
expected end.
So because I processed that kind of emotion away from him, when I got there, it was about trying to restore and doing what I could do to make sure I'm fighting for my marriage. So why did that happen?
Yeah.
And how can I come in and relieve whatever it is that caused that? Is there something there that can be relieved? That we can, like, I'm here to yes.
To heal.
It's about healing. Like, that didn't happen for no reason. Plus, the history of that happening before was because of situation, circumstance, and basically being impoverished. So therefore, my mind frame had already dealt with that aspect prior to Amaya being born.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that in my brain at the time.
Fair.
Yeah.
So could you have given him Amaya?
Oh. That's a tough question to ask because most women can't give up their baby, especially their first baby.
I totally understand. I'm just laying the balance
Yes or no?
because
Well, I know that he was a good dad anyway. I say was because I'm not. We're not in communication, and I say was in my reality and my truth that he's not there for her now. So therefore, I know that he has good dad capability because he has looked after his children on his own in certain circumstances. One particular daughter. So when circumstances happened, it was him and her. So
Okay.
I know he has the capacity to do it. I don't doubt that at all. Yeah, he's a good dad. He's a good dad. Can be a good dad. So yeah, but I don't know if I'd get. Would I do that in my today? Not without me there. There are many reasons for that. I'm going to be mindful of which one I give.
Yeah, you don't have to go into.
But the one thing I will say is when an opportunity was given for you to see her, you didn't take it. So how do you want me to respond to that? I have to prepare my daughter to potentially see and meet. She hasn't met her dad yet. To meet her dad and her sisters. This was last year, January, when I went to bury my dad. Itinerary was given, location was given, but parameters were there, in the sense of, we won't be staying in the same place, but you're more than welcome to come here. So, like, I don't know what you have to show your daughter that you're there. I've done enough. I've done that part. I've done the making sure she sees pictures, making sure that there's been times where she's been able to speak to him or never shutting the door. But it's not my job for her to get to know you through me doing it for you. So that's where my expectation now would be, and I've communicated certain things, whether it's received or taken or not. So I've done my bit. So I'm like, I don't really need to do that anymore. You have to do that. She's going to be 7 soon. She needs to know that her daddy's there for her. As with any other of the 4 girls. He's got 4 girls. So they need to know.
Stuff. Ness, what was your mindset when you were doing it on your own? Or were you doing it on your own?
It's superficially, I wasn't doing it on my own because we put some boundaries in place and some rules and some things in place so that there was no real distance between her dad and her. So straight away there was, okay, you'll have her by yourself, so you'll fully be in that, being present with her. And I always said I will make sure that happens for her. Sometimes I don't know if he was fully into that. And I can't tell you why. I would probably say it's just an immaturity, because he's a decent guy. Like, he's decent enough, he's got a good family background. So I just think it might have been just an immaturity, how he channeled his own emotions and his own things. But I always just said, I will do my part. So she'll be delivered, knocked on your door, there you go, here you go. And it wasn't for me, because I feel like I've witnessed some people do this, but for their own gain as a mum, like, oh, it's my weekend off. Well, I wasn't like that. I'm happy to just have my children constant. These are my babies. But it was more so that she can feel your family and feel you.
Have a bond.
And have a bond. So
excuse me.
I put that in place and left it there. And I was always, I felt okay doing it by myself. I was just that was my mindset of, okay, I just have to do this. I knew from the day she came from me and I looked over in that hospital by myself 3 a.m. when I couldn't sleep and there's no one there now, no visitors, everyone's quiet, and I just looked over and just went, this is forever. That baby and me is forever. So get it into your head, because this is what you do now. And I just was like, dedication. Okay. So I was fine. I was just like, okay. And actually, I didn't think about relationships and anything. I just didn't, that was not my mindset. My mindset was just me and her. I remember even when I did meet Paul and that felt good, I was even like, I really don't think I want any children until my daughter's 10. She was 1 and a half. And he was like, cool. I mean, that didn't happen because we got Kai. But. So, but my mindset was like, it's never been, I'm okay to do it myself. I'm okay. My mum also, though, when I was being raised, often said, because if I say, can I bring so-and-so with us? Can we, we're going here. Can I ask my friend Lorraine? Or she'd be like, you came into this world alone. You will go out this world alone. You don't need people. So I don't know. I'm a bit like, okay, I've got to do it myself. I was always like that. So,
fair.
May I ask a question, though?
Yeah.
You mentioned something about, not giving your daughter to her dad for selfish gain in terms of like getting a break. What about those who, because I do know some people who have children who have extra needs, who when they're dealing with certain behaviors, sometimes you really wish that person could just give you that break.
Yes.
Because that break it's constant, it's every day, like dealing with things like ADHD or behavioural situations.
And you need it.
You need the break.
I think when I say that, and I will say, because I understand you need a break, me personally, I was fortunate enough, probably, I had support. So
Same.
I had really good friends. My parents, so my mum was amazing. So my mum would just be like, also my sister, I'm 13 years older than my sister. So she's only like 4 years older than my daughter.
Wow.
So actually it was quite easy. Mum's like, I'm taking Rebecca somewhere. My daughter could go along. And so I could, and it's not, and then I still wasn't just out there like going, okay, I'm now, I can be
free.
I can be 19, I can be 20 and just go. I would just stay at home, do whatever I need to do while they went and did whatever they did. But that was it. I was very fortunate because I had times where that the baby was gone. And I was like, okay.
You can breathe.
But I appreciate some people just don't have it. That's why it's so true. It takes a village.
Boy,
it really takes a village.
Literally. Couldn't have done it without my family.
Yeah.
So a question for Chris. So can you give us an insight into what life was like transitioning from an everyday resident dad to remote dad? What's that like?
Yeah, I say contrary to what our female counterparts think.
Some
of our female counterparts. It's actually difficult. It's difficult because 1 minute you've got the children waking you up, jumping in your back, jumping on the bed, giving you that a lease of life.
Yeah.
And to the point where you're waking up with no alarm. Turn around, there's nobody there. The warmth is not there. And they say rodents know that people live in their house because the atmosphere, just the smell, just what's going on, gives you that little So when you do not have people living with you, when I say people living with you, people
Your
who
family.
you care, your family, your nucleus family, it's as if you're now lost. So you're busying yourself, and then next minute they say, no, stop working. You become idle. So it's like, well, what do I do now?
That's an interesting point, because when people retire, they usually die quicker than those people who keep
Continue
working.
doing a little side
Yeah.
hustle, a little 3 day
So
a week.
it's a grieving process going from that being a everyday dad to a remote dad, but also, like you said, it's like all of a sudden you don't have purpose anymore.
No.
That's destroying.
No. And again, back to the same analogy you said, somebody who's retired, they'll try to find something to do. So now you're not living with your family, you try to find something to do. You go to the gym, or you go out with the lads.
So you go to you're on the streets.
And then you go on the streets. And then you take a snap, you take a picture. Oh, look, they're living the best life. Well, hold on. When I'm with my friends, I'm living my best life, so you think. But when I go home, I'm there crying, thinking like, oh my gosh, where's my children? And worse off, if the partner decides that I do not want you to see the children.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something that me and you may have to open up.
Well, thankfully, I've never had that issue where I've always had access to my children.
Okay.
Thankfully, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so what is similar is I went from being an everyday dad, having house full. So even at my mum's house, there's enough of us. In my home, we had 4 children. Sorry, at that time we had 3, and my stepsons have 4 children. To then being in a room with other strangers in the house, no one's going to bed. You're not putting anyone to bed. You're not waking up to anybody. Not waking up to anybody.
Oh, gosh.
That was all you. It's very haunting. Harrowing, I would say. It's haunting. It's eerie. It's sad. You know, you don't want to go to your friend's house where they are with their children. For me, Christmases over the last 7 years, it's just been like a depressing day. I've tried to keep myself as busy as possible, because Christmas isn't Christmas without your kids, your children. Do you know what I mean? But then on social media, you see everybody with their families having a great time.
Yeah.
And I know that's not always reality, but that's what is posted.
Portrayed.
So
Shoved in your face.
I've noticed, every November and December, I get this dark, depressive heaviness that comes over me, and I always forget, and I'm like, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel? And then it clicks, like in the days coming up to Christmas, like, oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have my family with me during this time.
For
it's
me,
dark,
worse,
it's hard.
worse off, I'm actually, I work with children.
Okay, so do
So
I.
I'm fixing other people's families.
Yeah.
Whereas they get in that quality time.
Do you know,
my children are not.
something else that's really tough for me? I don't know if you've experienced it. It's hard not to feel like you're needed as a man. Like, there was a time where my children, when they were younger, when I first left, it's like you come to the door, they run to the door, or when you're leaving, oh wait, Dad, 1 second, they run in and give you a hug. But when they get to a point where they're used to it now, it's cool. Like
They don't move from in front of the telly or whatever. And you come
I'm
in
going
and-
now. Okay. Bye then. Bye.
Bye.
Do you know what I mean? Or you don't get any phone calls or FaceTimes. Like, oh, I just wanted to call you. It's not feeling like you're not needed. You're not missed. You're not important.
There's a name for that. It's called alienation.
If you're alienated.
And it's actually a term that's used in court as well.
Okay, being alienated from your family.
Alienated from your family.
Okay.
And speaking against the father or speaking against the mother.
Again, I haven't. As far as I know, I haven't experienced that being spoken.
And removing you from certain parts where you would have had that input. So where the parents would have said, no, ask your dad, ask your mum.
Yeah.
The moment that you don't implement that, you're alienating.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
open
experienced
up.
that where decisions that I wouldn't necessarily have made or been happy with or approved of, these things are just being decided without. I'm thinking, why was I not told about? Oh, someone to happen. So why don't I know that?
Yeah.
Why don't I know about that? Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like, and we have to open this on another episode, but it's like your position is being diminished day by day, week by week. You're being needed less. You mean less. Your authority and influence is less. You know, no one's really. It's like, it's mad, yeah. And then you're like, well, who am I? Like, do I have the same authority? Like, who am I? Do you know what I mean? Who am I to them? And you're like, you still want to have the influence, but you're like, if no one's going to uphold what dad says in my absence, then how much influence do you have anymore?
It's funny because I don't know if that's purposely done. Is it that the female just goes into mum mode?
I think they're just getting on with it.
I'm just getting on with it.
Yeah.
I haven't got the time, actually. They're not thinking that I need to put that time in to consider him and what he thinks.
Brain.
I'm just getting on with it. I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think maybe...
yeah. All right. We'll need to open it up. I think that's a big topic.
Yeah.
We need to open it up next time. Yeah. But that's it for today, guys. So we're going to come back with some more hard-hitting topics, some real-life stuff. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Bye. Toodle pip.